team, the Denver Broncos, as they match up with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. With that, let's get up to a winter wonderland at New Era Field in Orchard Park. On the call, we bring in our bundled-up duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, to no one's surprise, Coach, it is a snowy afternoon in upstate New York as you get a peek at New Era Field in Orchard Park. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. And opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 29-yard line. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Flacco, that's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Flacco. That's complete right around the 8. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
A second-year receiver at SMU, Cortland Sutton, had a pretty nice rookie season, averaging nearly 17 yards per catch, but there's still plenty more for him to work on. Not only should he be able to be a big-time red zone threat, they want to be a little more elusive in the open field.
Flacco looks to throw, and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Kenny Young in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it, it's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. Handoff, Coleman, right side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Allen. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Brown signed with the Bills in March. Last year he was in Baltimore, 4 seasons in Arizona prior to that, but they're hoping that Brown can add a lot of speed to this offense, which he should. Last year in Baltimore, 715 yards and 5 touchdowns. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. He hits Beasley right side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. Out to the left there and complete to Howard.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get the really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Ross on the return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11. Now Allen. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Pass 85, pass 85.
On play action, Allen. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. After the sack on 1st down, Allen, and the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Space to maneuver at the 40. Wide open receiver complete as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. Give him 23 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying?
Down goes Joe Flacco in the end zone. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. With it is Brown, and he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
On second down, it's Coleman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there and a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. And now they'll throw with Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 20-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right here, right here.
Trying to run it in, DeMarco, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Patrick DeMarco, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, first down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. That time, a 9-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. I call it no gain there on the first down play. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now Flacco. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Sanders.
Here we go. Here we go.
He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Flacco will come to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They go pass again with Flacco. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way. This is caught inside the 15. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Flacco. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Noah Fant, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end.
Brendan McManus lining up for the extra point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point from McManus is good. And that will shave one more off this lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And our attention turns now to T.J. Yeldon. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the great state of Ohio. Miami in town to take on Cleveland. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, let's go. That's right. Home. Slam. Mike, 51.
So the shotgun snap to Allen, and this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, but it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman, and he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Oh, yeah.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. He finds Yeldon. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
This is Coleman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry, 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. 15 yards on the play. First down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing now is Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
They'll try and punch it in with Yeldon. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. The 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Joe Flacco here. We get a peek at what he's done so far in this game. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Yeldon was always reliable out of the backfield for Blake Bortles, and now he has a chance to help out another young quarterback in the same way in Josh Allen. But you look at the numbers a season ago, 55 catches, almost 500 yards, very sure hands for a running back. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Allen now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Flushed out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Bring it around, 80. Get the ball.
Looking to throw again on second down. Allen. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Check three.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Lindsey. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. From the 38, Flacco. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. 7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7. And the Broncos first down.
Stop your whining. 49, guys. Mike, 49.
On first down, Flacco. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Flacco to throw again on second down. Completes it to Fant on the right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's third down.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. And again, it's Flacco to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective third down play to move the chains. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Flacco will take to the air again. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Sutton. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
False start offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Passing play. Flacco. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton, complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 21.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Throw left side, complete. That's Lindsey. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Flacco off play action. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jeff Hireman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bills are going to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
To the air, Allen. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a second and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. On second and goal, Allen, that's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right, and that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Flacco set to lead this offense. Down by 13. Just over a minute 40 to play. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and that'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Flacco. His throw incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Here's Flacco. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go, G. Get up. Let's go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, baby.
Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bills on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. On third down, here's Coleman. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
And let's pin the mirrors down. Check 3.
They'll run. It's the fullback DeMarco. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Yeldon. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. T.J. Yeldon with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Left side here to Sanders. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Bills, the win gets them a step